Welcome to the last hump day of June of 2023. And to my knowledge, it's the last hump day of the first half of 2023. So, happy hump day, everyone. Let's see, let's get to my low, my high, and my acts of kindness, because I did several of them yesterday. I would have to say that my low is my ribs are still hurting me. Can't really do anything. Can't work out. Retaining fluid like crazy. Yeah, I know I don't look bad, but listen, at one point I had lost like well over 100 pounds. You kind of want to see that weight ever come back ever again, But, I guess as long as people are saying I look okay, even if it is family and therefore a part of me thinks it's showing bias, I guess it's okay. My high is, it was actually kind of strange. I was beginning to worry about what I was going to discuss regarding today's video, but as a fan of the Blue Banana Podcast, shout out to the Blue Banana Podcast, I know exactly what I'm going to talk about today. I'll get to that in a second. And my acts of kindness were, I took out the garbage for my folks, I emptied the dehumidifier for my father, and I also I didn't really need to empty the dishwasher, but I did need to fill it up. And, did I wind up having my mom make dinner? No, that was yesterday. That was the day before. So, yeah. So, dishwasher, garbage, and dehumidifier. Cool. So, for those of you who don't know, the Blue Banana Podcast is run by 3 YouTubers, specifically One Piece YouTubers. As a fan of One Piece, of course, I listen to them. They're run by Liam, who is, I mentioned him before, he is the creator of the Grand Line Review and also the New World Review, even though it's pretty much about Hunter x Hunter now. Joy Girl, actually both, Joy Girl and Manu, sorry, it's Sophie. Why did I blank on her name? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Sophie. You're really cool. I love your work. But Sophie and Liam are based out of Australia. And Manu, who's the O'Hara channel, he's originally from Germany, but he actually lives in Japan right now. So he's based out of Japan. And lately they've been talking about, various anime that you should watch, that you shouldn't watch. Some anime they talked about that I've actually seen. Like, I haven't seen Mashal, but I really want to. They talked about Kill la Kill. I have seen Kill la Kill. They were going to be talking about Naruto in yesterday's episode, but recently, the trailer for the live-action One Piece show it was a teaser trailer. It was released on YouTube for the world to see, and naturally, they all had to talk about it. I mean, they're all One Piece fans, and as a One Piece fan, I definitely sympathize. Now, for those of you who don't know, pretty much every single time anime has ever been met with a live-action adaptation, it's either been just barely okay, or just flat out hated and bad. I mean, Dragon Ball Evolution, Avatar, The Last Airbender, even though that's not really anime, because it was made in America, for Western audiences. Even stuff like Alita Battle Angel, or Ghost in the Shell. They didn't look bad, but, No one really liked him. No one needed to see him. Even like the Cowboy Bebop adaptation that I believe was on Netflix. A lot of people had some good stuff to say about it, but it was still like widely hated. So needless to say, as a One Piece fan and someone who's clearly aware of what's going on regarding what a One Piece fan would think, at first I was a bit worried, like, they're actually going to go through it. I mean, a while back I did a video about when they revealed who the One Piece cast was. And I remember I had some hopes for it. Specifically, if nothing else, they actually got the nationalities of the Straw Hats correctly. In an interview a few years back, Ichiro Oda was asked if the Straw Hats were actually based from different countries here on Earth. Like, what countries would they be from? And Luffy would be from Brazil, Zoro would be from Japan, I forget who everyone else would be from. But they actually cast like a Brazilian actor for Luffy. They actually got, I believe, some of Japanese descent for Zoro. So, if nothing else, they got that right. So what do I think of the trailer? What do I personally think of the trailer? Well, if you really want to know my thoughts, you could just watch the Blue Banana podcast's episode yesterday. Because they pretty much say what I'm thinking. But as someone who's not as much... Because here's the thing. All of them are diehard One Piece fans. And technically, yeah, I am. But I'm not as knowledgeable about it as they are. So, you're kind of getting it from a slightly outside perspective from me. But from what I saw, it doesn't look bad to me. I mean, the real challenge is they're legit going to try, they're legit going to try and adapt the entirety of the East Blue Saga in 8 episodes. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to do it. I mean, the cast has obviously already been decided. The episode list has already been made. So, yeah, for better or for worse, they're going to try and incorporate 100 chapters worth of manga in about 8 episodes. It's doable, obviously, because they've clearly already done it. But you know, for something like this, they're going to cut out a lot of things. As well as probably add some things as well. I don't want to give away some of the things that they added, but if you're a One Piece fan and you've seen the live action trailer, you know all about a certain ship belonging to a certain relative of Luffy. So there you go. Now, in terms of how it looks and feels, it doesn't look bad. I did notice a lot of like sunsets in the trailer, but when I was watching Liam talk about it, Liam of the Grand Line Review, he said how it really does kind of keep up with the theme of the very first manga arc in One Piece, which is Romance Dawn. I mean, I just said it was a sunset. It may actually be a sunrise, and, you know, sometimes you can't really tell because sunrises and sunsets actually do look similar at times, depending on, I mean, obviously it depends on where the sun is, of course, but in the right light, no pun intended, they look alike. So, there you go. The Lord of the Coast, which is essentially like the first, I guess, quote-unquote, fight Luffy has before he leaves, and is the one who eats Shanks' arm. He actually looks good. It's not bad CGI from what I can tell. I legit believe that a creature that looks like that would be out in the ocean waiting for someone to be stupid enough to go out and, you know, swim where it is. And for the Lord of the Coast, probably eat it, I guess. Eat them, I guess. Buggy looks amazing. Buggy the Clown looks absolutely, like, he was only on screen for like a split second, but, like, I buy that Buggy, at least in East Blue, was a scary villain. He was. He was the first major villain of One Piece, who then has become a joke, a hero, and honestly one of the greatest redemption arcs I think I've ever seen. I mean, if you read the manga or watch the anime, then you know what I'm talking about. But honestly, for Buggy being East Blue, for East Blue Buggy, I find this iteration of Buggy kind of intimidating. Yeah, I know it was only for a second, but it's only a teaser trailer. What can you do? The one thing that a lot of people are on the fence about, that I really have noticed, was at the end of the trailer, Luffy is about to launch his signature attack, the Gum Gum pistol. And the two things that people have either complained about or thought wasn't bad were, one, listen, when reading the manga or watching the anime, especially in Japanese, there's a certain sort of, it's one of those things you can't really explain. Like, Mayumi Tanaka, who voices Luffy in Japanese, like, you hear Gomu Gomu no, and then Pistole, like that sort of, like we're all used to hearing that. As much as I love Colleen Klinkenbeard dubbing Luffy in English, I do see how some people would rather hear that said in Japanese over her. Don't worry, Miss Klinkenbeard, still love you. And then there's the actual stretching part. Because remember, Luffy is in fact made of rubber. Now, listen. Luffy is made of rubber. He can stretch his arms incredibly far, he can stretch his legs incredibly far. He can do so many crazy, wacky things because of the fact he's made of rubber. In fact, full disclosure, when Oda first designed this for Luffy, he wanted to come up with like the funniest, most ridiculous power ever. Little did we know that 1,044 chapters later, it really would be considered the most ridiculous power ever. Holy cow. But this is only East Blue. Relax. I mean, I get why they wanted to do this. Because, if you have a Netflix account, chances are you're going to see what this is. One Piece is that big enough of a property where you've at least remotely heard of it. And this is actually a really interesting point that Manu Ohara brought up in yesterday's episode of the Blue Banana podcast. Would it have been a good idea to do this live action show after One Piece ends? And then Liam is immediately like, no. Like, right now, One Piece is in its final saga. We're at, like, the climax of the climax, practically of the climax of One Piece. Nearly, it should be 26 years, One Piece will be 26 years old this July. So, very much approaching 30 years. And, I mean, One Piece has always been considered good, but now it's like, it's probably about as great and worldly and known worldwide as you could ever hope for any property to be. Right now would be the perfect time to actually do a live action show. Because, let's say that it does wind up being bad. For one thing, people are going to watch it. But more importantly, people are going to watch it and be like, you know what? I'll check out the manga. I'll read the manga. I'll check out the anime. Let's see if it really is as good as, people say it is. I mean, the absolute best case scenario is people watch this live action show, they think it's good, but they want to see more. That's why you have the manga and the anime. The absolute worst case scenario is the live action One Piece turns people off of One Piece entirely, which could very well happen. I could definitely see some people immediately never wanting to see anything One Piece related ever again after seeing the live action. It's possible. Even if by all accounts this live action adaptation is good, some people are still gonna absolutely hate it. In fact, even with all the good stuff I mentioned, I gotta lean a little bit more towards. It's hard. On the one hand, my heart is telling me that I really want to listen more towards what Liam thinks, because of the three people of the Blue Banana podcast, Liam is probably the person whose opinion I mimic the most in terms of what I think of this, what I at least thought of the teaser trailer. But my head is telling me I should probably lean a little bit more towards Manu. So, it's up in the air for me. I do have hopes, and I really do hope people watch this adaptation and at least have a good time. But, if not, oh well. Although they put $100 million into this, I really hope some good comes out of this. I hope you like this video. If you did, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I am very humble to make this video for all of you guys who watch and enjoy today. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. And remember that you guys want to talk to the channel, always going to be here to lend me the right back. Take care. Make good choices. 607 all day, baby. Happy last hump day of June.